I am going to really enjoy this conversation. It's a continuation of a conversation I had on my radio show on WWL today. I am Scoot, and welcome to the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. If you have not yet subscribed, I hope you will become a subscriber. We give you an alert every time we do something, and you can either catch us live or you can catch us whenever you can. So at least the reminder is there. So please become a subscriber if you can. It's real simple. Just become a subscriber, and we'll give you the alert every time we do something. And we're just building this, and appreciate you being part of this. It's an extension of my radio talk show on WWL in New Orleans. So thanks for being with us. And there's a lot of interesting things on the YouTube channel, and for the most part, the titles of the videos that I do kind of explain what it's all about. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's the representative. She's the QAnon lady from Georgia. She is wacky. She says things that aren't true. And she has now been suspended again by Twitter. She was suspended for 1 week by Twitter because of misleading statements about COVID and the vaccines. Now, she says that the Food and Drug Administration should not approve the COVID vaccines. And she insists in a Twitter post that the vaccines are not effectively slowing the spread of COVID-19. Well, you and I know that's not true. We know that it's working. I mean, the numbers prove this. That there's no doubt that the numbers are working. Back in January, MTG was suspended for 12 hours for posting an absurd conspiracy theory about the Georgia runoff elections for the Georgia Senate seat. She was suspended in July by Twitter for another 12 hours for sharing misinformation about COVID and the vaccines. Now, when your side is losing, the best thing to do is to just make up bullshit. The best thing to do is just lie and just bullshit the people. I guess that's the best thing you can do when your side doesn't have a case. And the case against the COVID vaccine is really friggin' limp. I mean, it's pretty damn weak. So this current 1 week suspension of Marjorie Taylor Greene by Twitter is at least her third suspension. 5 suspensions or more by Twitter, and they consider banning you permanently. Now, is MTG smart enough to tell the truth? Shit, no, she's not. But for those who want to scream, censorship, censorship, a conservative voice is being censored, bullshit. This is not censorship, and I'll explain why. And I'm going to explain this from the perspective that I have of being in this business for a long time, radio and television and social media. When it comes to TV stations and radio stations, newspapers, and websites, the reporters, the journalists, the anchors, they are held accountable by a program director or a news director, or in the case of print, an editor. In other words, the editors, the program directors, the news directors, they make sure that the anchors and the journalist and everybody tells the truth. Now, look, there's a human element in media. So people are going to make mistakes. Those mistakes are usually corrected. If those mistakes are not corrected, that's a problem. But humans make mistakes. We can have differing opinions. You can apply facts to your opinion, but you can't just outright lie. Fox News, Newsmax, and One American News now are currently being sued by Dominion Voting Systems for defamation because of all the bullshit lies they told and still continue to tell about the fake rigged election. I mean, here's the funny part about this. These are verifiable lies, which means we've got evidence that proves they're lies. But it doesn't change the mentality of those who want to still believe this. I mean, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. You know, the election's over. Trump lost. Move on. And all that you want to believe is bullshit about it being rigged. So, look, for those of you like me who encounter people that continue to present this crap of the election was rigged, COVID's not a big thing, the vaccine doesn't work, all of this typical masks, it's an infringement of our freedoms, all of this crap. For those of you who encounter these people, I want to give you a little information that will help you silence them if you get into a discussion with them. So, the reason this is not suspension is because the media are held accountable by an editor or a news director or somebody like that. What Twitter is doing and what Facebook did in the case of former President Donald Trump is they acted like the editor, the news director. They acted like the person who is holding everybody accountable. You see, the problem with social media is just anybody can post anything and nobody's accountable. Well, yes, you are accountable and you should be accountable, and you should be accountable to the social media platform because you don't have a news director, you don't have an editor. So you can say whatever shit you want to say. But since these are news sources, somebody should hold you accountable. In America, one of the unique things that we have is the news media is not controlled by the government. In a lot of other countries, the news media is controlled by the government. We don't have that. But the news media has a responsibility to be honest and not make shit up. And in particular, not make things up to fit a particular political agenda or political crusade. And that's what's happened. You can't go on Twitter and make shit up, or Facebook. You should be held accountable, and that is not censorship. One of the things that Fox News has argued in their request to dismiss the lawsuit against, and by the way, these lawsuits from Dominion Voting Systems against Fox News, $1.6 billion. Against Newsmax and One American News, $1.6 billion. Because the stuff that they made up is basically verifiable lies. We can verify that they're lies. So, with President Trump, former President Trump, and with Marjorie Taylor Greene, don't buy into this stuff that this is censorship. The conservative voice is not being censored. Lies are being censored. You want a conservative voice? Just tell the damn truth. And once again, I'm going to say it. I say it all the time. I'm going to say it again. Do not judge all Trump supporters, all conservatives, and all Republicans by those who perpetrate lies, because they're not all lying like some of these people are. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a clown show. She's a shit show. And she got elected from this rural community in Georgia. But she is going to be held accountable for what she says. And those people in Georgia, I mean, we've learned this about states electing local officials or officials that go to Congress. We've learned that there is a national standard now, and politicians and states are being held accountable for what their politicians do on a national level, based on a national standard. So, look, here's another part of this is part of a blog that I wrote for WWL.com. Demanding the truth from the media is not a new concept in America. The media in America, different from most other countries because it's free from government control. And I just mentioned that the FCC regulates the media, but doesn't control content, with the exception of regulations concerning profanity, which can sometimes be regulated and changed based on community standards. But let's set the record straight here. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, QAnon lady, and former President Trump are not being censored by Twitter and Facebook. These social media platforms are holding them accountable, where the media runs free in an open society. If you post something, you are obligated to tell the truth. And if you pick up some bullshit from some discredited source and you think it's true and you promote that, you should be in trouble. Why are so many people opposed to the truth? Because the truth is inconvenient to their political beliefs. Thank you for joining me on the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. I hope you subscribe. Join me on Facebook. It's a Scoot on the Air on Facebook and Instagram as well. And join me on my radio show tomorrow, talk show on WWL in New Orleans. You can go to WWL.com, stream the show. It's 870 AM, 105.3 FM in New Orleans and the Gulf South area. And you can also download the app Odyssey, AUDACY, type in WWL, and you've got our show wherever you've got your phone. Thank you for being with me on the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel.